evening, and what is up? Once again, it's on with the Black Comic Lords as we continue our interview series with Black comic creators. Tonight, we've got a special guest with us tonight, a veteran in the Black indie game, Mr. Tony Kittrell. For those of you who of Advent Comics, of those of you who may not be familiar, um, Tony Kittrell is a lifelong comic reader who aspired from an early age to be a comic creator. He resolved himself that he would take a plunge and self-publish. He wanted to write about subject matter he had a genuine interest in and chose to craft a tale that would merge two of his passions, his faith and superheroes. It was a daunting task with plenty of unforeseen obstacles, economics, his career as a firefighter, paramedic, family, etc. But he managed to get it done with a lot of hard work and a great group of people who supported his dream. They managed to put out their first Advent comic in 2009. This brother's been in the game for 14 years. Tony looks forward to continuing to bring faith-based comics and graphic novels to all those interested in reading them. Advent Comics is putting the soul back in comics. So with that, I'd like you all to welcome Mr. Tony Kittrell.
Hey, thank you for having me tonight, Paul. I made it a Black Comic Lewis. Yes.
Welcome, brother. You're very welcome to be here. We're happy to have you. Thank you for agreeing to join us tonight.
Oh, of course, man. I've been wanting to do this series. Thank you.
All right. Well, why don't you tell us? I gave the people a brief introduction. Tell us how you got into comics.
Oh man, got into comics when I was a kid. Actually, I was 6 years old. My older brother and my cousin had been comic book readers, and I would sneak in and read their comics when they weren't around because I was a little brother, so they wouldn't let me. I would sneak in and read the books and do things when they were gone. I had ample opportunity to read their books. I read the old Marvel books and DC books and fell in love with them. Just fell in love with them.
And what were the comics that were your favorites when you were a kid?
Oh man, back then, my cousin was reading Conan, so I loved the theme of Conan. He also had the Neil Adams X-Men, so that's what I kind of grew up with at first. And that's the Spider-Man. I was a big Spider-Man fan, huge Spider-Man fan. They didn't do too much of DC. I didn't get too much into DC until I got like 6 or 7.
Right.
Once I got DC, I started loving their books too. But Spider-Man, X-Men. My cousin would read old Chiller horror books, so I had some of those. He eventually gave his comics to me when I turned 8, so I had like a collection of like 400 comics out the gate when I was 8 years old. So I was ready to go, and I've been a fan ever since.
That's what's up. Did you maintain your readership of comics throughout the years, or did you come back to the hobby later on?
I still read comics. I think I left comics for a brief period of time. Let me be honest. I sold most of my original comics to pay my way through college the first time. First time I went to college. Mile High Comics had just came about, so it was like 1980-ish, 80 in the 80s. So I sold my comics that I had, paid my way through college, and I started building back up because I really never had stopped reading comics. Around about 86, 87 is when I really dived back into comics and started building my collection back up. And so most of the comics that I sold, I was able to purchase back. So
now you said you went to college, and I know that you were a firefighter paramedic. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes, sir. I still am. I retired. I retired in 297 days. But who's counting? I had 27 years of service in.
So thank you for your service.
Oh, no problem. Thank you, brother.
You're a short timer now.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and I feel it, man. I feel it, but I need to tell my back that some days throwing them ladders and going in the fires. I'm getting a little too old to be doing that. But
that gives you more time to spend on your comics.
Yes, it does, because I will be doing Advent Comics full time after that. So
that's what's up. That's what's up.
It's already where she's already knowing I'm diving in full time.
Well, let's take a look at your comics and see what you have to offer. I mean, you've had
Sure.
14 years of being a Black independent creator. That in and of itself is a tremendous achievement. Look at all these comics you have here, man. This is
Yeah, that was a little graphic I made a few years back. We have a significant amount of additions to that now. But that
right.
was just to show what some of the titles we had. And one of the things that I set out to do is to do every genre. Well, I don't do like hardcore, not safe for work stuff. That's the only thing I won't touch on because we got a lot of kids who like our books. But every genre you can think of, we hit. Whether it's romance, sci-fi, horror, superheroes, of course. We even got Western books. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff coming down the pike. We got a manga book that's about to drop in about a month. So I'm trying to do it all, brother. I'm trying to do it all.
You know that's what really impressed. I have some of your books. I've got
I
Titan,
saw 'em back there, yeah.
Sunshine, Black Star Line. I also got Southside. First couple of issues of Southside as
Yeah.
well.
I was just
Um,
nominated for a Glyph Award. We
were
didn't
you?
win, but yeah, we didn't win it. I didn't know it nominated for the fan awards. That one I knew about, but when I got there for the awards, we were nominated. I was nominated for best writer too. I didn't know that. Did not know that. So
That's
that
what's
was
up.
a surprise. Didn't win either one of them, but there's always next year. We're gonna come back next year and try to do it better.
Well, we wish you luck on that.
Hey, look
And
at it.
it's well
It,
deserved.
it was a crowded field, and all the nominees were stupendous. So just to be included in that field, I mean, I'm blessed, brother. I'm blessed. So it was no
Yeah, I
effort.
mean, this year's Glyph Award nominees were outstanding.
Outstanding, outstanding. My man Malachi Bailey won the fan award for her. Shout out to Malachi and Wingless Comics for that. I appreciate them. They're good brothers. Good brothers.
Just in the ones I just mentioned here,
Mm-hmm.
what strikes me is incredible is how varied your comics are. I mean, you cross so many different genres from superhero comics to sci-fi to romance to crime noir. Your company does it all. Like it's not just one particular genre of comic. And what's moreover, your style of writing changes based on each book. I was real impressed with that.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm trying because right now it's still all in my head. It's getting to the point where now I have to hire writers. But right now, I try to write at least the first issue of every book that we've put out, just to let whoever comes behind me know where I'm trying to go with the series.
Right.
Matter of fact, that book you have behind you, Sunshine, that was a birthday present to my daughter. My daughter
Look, let me
yeah.
tell you something. That book, if you're a girl dad
Uh,
and you read that book, you're gonna appreciate that book because this Sunshine book is this book right here.
mhm.
This is a love letter
Yes,
for fathers of girls,
yes,
for
yes.
girl dads. Man,
I'm glad
I
you recognize it.
honestly, you got me in the fields with that one. You got me in the fields with that one because
It, it,
I got an 11-year-old daughter, and
uh,
all the emotions I feel about. And what's cool in that story is you have all these quotes where it's like a father protects his child, a father directs his daughter as to what she's supposed to do in her life.
mhm.
Her father is does this and that and that, and it's like I agree with all that, and I think any guy who's a father of a girl can appreciate that story.
It all
Um,
funny story. It almost didn't get put out. Well,
why is it?
I was gonna put it out, but I had I put the book up for review, a couple different places, and this one reviewer trashed it like it was garbage. It's no good. Why would you even put something like that out? Woo woo. But I was like, this is it was a personal story, and it was like I said, it was a birthday gift to my daughter. So I was like, I'm gonna put it out. Come to find out, it's one of the best sellers. That book is sold upwards of 12,000 copies around the globe now. So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm glad
That
I
book
put it
caught
out
me in
there.
the feels, bro. I ain't afraid to say, that book really caught me.
Well, I'm glad it touched you, brother. I'm glad it touched you. So, as a girl, dad, you know how we are with our daughters.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So let's go into. I picked some of the books that you had here on this list,
Okay.
some highlights for us to take a look at, and I want you to let all of us know what these books are, what's the
Okay.
genre, what's the plot, what's the story, who is the artist. I
Okay.
want you to give your whole spiel on these books.
Sure. The one you have up now is a series called Southside. I am a lifelong DC native, so basically, this is a love letter to the city of DC. Anyone who's read this story, they know a lot of the elements that are strictly DC based, and they see it in these stories. But Southside is about a character named Dart Malone, and you see him on the cover. Dart Malone returns home to the main streets of DC, and he comes home because his best friend has been murdered. So when he comes back, he wants to know who did it, how did it happen, and his main goal is to get revenge. So this is a crime noir, action-packed, ultra-violent story. This is a mature title. I need to say that right now. It is not for kids at all. Do not let your kids pick this up. There's a lot of cursing. It's a lot of adult situations. I didn't go full blown on the nudity, but I mean the language and it's an adult book, purely an adult book.
Yeah, one of the things that when I read your bio and it's talked about, you're trying to do these faith-based comics,
Mm-hmm.
just for those that term might be a turnoff for.
Yes,
Understand?
yes it is.
Let me explain something. Just because it is faith, these books are rooted in his faith, does not mean it is not entertaining and does not deal with relevant issues.
Right.
There is something there for everyone.
Right. And
Um,
Southside deals with a lot of different things. I mean, people were like, you touched on things like gentrification in Southside.
right.
Uh, there is a section of now that DC has changed its demographics. We'll say that there are certain places in DC that are feeling the brunt of that, like Howard University. You have people who reject Howard being where it is, and Howard's been there for 100 almost 200 years. And I'm like, really? This place was been here before you guys came into the city. I mean, you got people who try to use Howard as a dog park. So I mean, stuff like that made it into the book were actual scenes and things that happen in the city. So I put a lot of things in there. But when I said faith based, that started because when I did the first book, yeah, I'm from DC. Frustrated Fan Sports Show. Thank you for being here. When I first did the comic books, I did a graphic novel. The first graphic novel in 2009 was a book called Pandemonium Evil Incarnate. So how I decided to make my comic universe different from all the other comic book universes out there at the time, I was going to do two things to stand out. I was going to have characters of color, people that look like me, in every single book, at least one or two main characters of every single book that I put out. So if you go through any book, you will find black characters who are the predominant characters in the book, whether they're antagonists, protagonists, the main characters are black. And secondly, I wanted to build something unique. So I took the biblical God and devil from the Bible and put them in the comic book universe, and I was creating stories around them. So there's an entire wing of the Advent universe called the Spirit Line. It's basically about Christian philosophy books. We have Muslim heroes. We got all kinds of heroes in that Spirit Line, faith-based type book. But by no means is Advent a Bible based, and we're going to thump you over the head with it. You'll find, like in certain books, I may have a quote from a Bible scripture, but that scripture may be to let you know what this story is going to be about. And I'll have like other quotes and things from in the book as well. But I don't do bump you over the head with my beliefs and things of that nature. I want you to have fun when you read our books. I want you to be entertained, and if by chance you happen to like that kind of thing, like I said, we have a whole line that's purely Christian based. Like I said, I got in trouble with some Christians because I put in that first graphic novel it was about what if God wasn't here. And the Christians, I mean, they ate me up for that book. They were like, "Bro, how could you do that?" But I'm like, "It's a story," and I was like, "Relax, trust me." The second graphic novel was God coming into the universe, so it was like a whole story, and it built the universe around it. But by no means is it just that. Give an Advent Comics title a try, and you'll see that. You'll definitely see that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Frustrated fan wants to know if there's a lot of city references
Oh,
because of
bro,
DC.
yeah, yeah. First issue, we got Barry Farms, we got the Big Chair, we got Alabama Avenue, we got places like Ben's Chili Bowl. I mean, trust me, Howard University's in it. Uh, there's so much that if you're from DC, you'll recognize in this book, and it's like I said, it's a love letter to the city. Even though there's an action story around it, we got Chinatown in it, we got a gallery place. I mean, you name it, when you see it, you can be like, "Oh, bro, no, he didn't." So you'll know I'm a true Washingtonian when you see some of the stuff in the book.
All right, so let's move on to our next one.
Okay. Yeah, that's some of the art from Southside. And matter of fact, if I can tell the creative team on that, I'm writing it. The art is by Chepe Rios, dynamic artist from Mexico. My boy is doing amazing stuff on the art. Our colorist is PH Fuller up in Philly, and the color
Yeah, those
work.
those colors those
Oh,
colors
bro,
really slap, man.
oh,
They really
bro.
just stick out.
PH is doing his thing. And then lettering, we have Letter Squids, who you can see on a lot of different comics now. Letter Squids is finally getting his just due because his letters bring it up a notch as well. So I'm blessed to be able to produce with this team. This team is amazing. And
Yeah.
for all the others who don't know, we just finished issue 4. It's being colored and lettered now. And we started art on the second art of Southside. So that's coming near you as well.
That's what's up. So here's another character. This
Yeah.
was my first Advent comic book
Mm-hmm.
that I ever got. Titan.
Yeah, Titan Ultraman. He's our flagship character.
He's the
So
flag. That was one of the questions I had. Is he your flagship
he
character?
is the flagship character.
So let's talk about who he is and what his power set is, and what was his profession before he got his powers.
Well, Titan, he's kind of autobiography. He's kind of like a lot like me. Titan's a firefighter.
You think?
Yeah, it's a run, and it's a running joke now at work because the local news had interviewed me about one of these Titan books,
Yeah.
and so my fellow firefighters call me Black Titan at work. So it's a running joke, and everybody, and now all of my coworkers want to be inside the book. So I started putting my coworkers in the book as well.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, but
So
yeah,
tell us about who is Titan.
Titan is Marcus Cameron. He was a firefighter who he was feeling himself. So he wasn't a hero by any means. He was out there. He was a womanizer. He was a married man. He did a lot of things that didn't sit right with his wife. So when you first see Titan, you see him in that Pandemonium Evil Incarnate graphic novel. But in his book, Titan is dealing with the aftermath of when you get these powers, what do you do? And when Titan got these powers, he let it go to his head. So he did a lot of things that cost him his wife, his children. So now Titan's on a journey to get back, or basically to be a better man. So he's going to use these powers and not just become a better hero, but a better man. So this is the journey the Titan is on. So the tagline for this is basically he's created by science, shaped by faith, but Titan is actually trying to be what the world needs most, and that's a hero. But in the process of being a hero, Titan has to learn how to be a better man. So that's what we're going to take him through.
And how did he get his powers?
He went to a facility called ATL, Advanced Technology Laboratories, to fight a fire. And in that fire, one of the super colliders exploded, putting him into a coma. When he woke up, he had these incredible abilities. Basically, Titan is the man. He has, and I hate to compare it this way. He has super strength. He has super speed. Titan can do pretty much anything. He can absorb energy to give himself even more powers. He is, for all intents and purposes, and I hate to even say this, but he's our Superman, but
Yeah.
to an advanced level. Because in the first,
I wouldn't even say that.
okay,
I would equate him more. And here's one of the things I want to compliment you on. Your text speak
okay,
in this, your description of the science was really dope.
oh, thank you.
You talk about, particle colliders and
Right,
the fact that he is getting his power
stellar energy,
from other dimension
right?
and the other dimensional energy, and he's channeling that. His power set seems to me a lot more like Blue Marvel than Superman.
Yes, yes. I would say Blue Marvel because in my ability, Superman is the original. I can't take that from him. But Titan is more than a Superman. That's why I said I don't want to compare him to Superman because, in my opinion, and it's biased opinion, we all know that. But Titan is more than what a Superman is. He doesn't have the trappings of Superman as of yet, as you're going to come to see in some of these stories that are coming out. But he's, like I said, he's learning. He's trying to be a better man, become a hero. So you'll see Titan progress. But right now, Titan is, if any of us got superpowers off the street, how we would handle it. And, I don't think all of us would be as altruistic and to try to use your powers as always. Oh, yeah, that's Titan 3. The art is by Nathan Diaz, who's currently doing Predator, Thunderbolts. He's doing Legion of X, and he's doing something else for Marvel that I won't say because I think I might get in trouble.
Let me tell you,
But
this brother's art is fantastic.
oh yeah, he's actually doing he's actually doing Titan 5 right now around his Marvel stuff. So he hasn't gone anywhere. He's still with us. But Marvel, and it's a funny thing, and I say this as a running joke, so everybody who works with me knows I got a track record of sorts. So in the past 2 years, the big two have stolen 13 of my artists, whether they be art pencilers or inkers, and 2 colorists. The big two have stolen 13 of my people. So I was pleased when Nathan was like, "Oh, I'm not going nowhere," to get one of them back. So that's the running joke we got going on.
Considering how long you've been around, that means like on average every year one of your
Oh,
creators
oh,
is getting
oh,
poached
oh yeah.
by Marvel and
We,
DC.
we got a lot of people that got pinched by Marvel and DC. I mean, I'm happy for them because, I mean, come on, that's everybody's dream. Marvel and DC is the pinnacle of what we're trying to do in this industry. Everybody from a kid, yay high, has always wanted to be a writer, inker, colorist, or letterer, or what have you, on a Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Hulk, or whatever have
I
you.
mean,
So
this
I'm
artwork
happy
right
for
here is not only just as good as Marvel and DC. I can give you a stack of Marvel and DC books where this artwork is clearly
them.
better.
Yeah, and if I can be, I'm not shy by any means, and a lot of people say I'm cocky, whether it be that I run in the burning buildings for 20 some years, but I'm going to go on a limb and let you know, any Advent comic you pick up, my goal was to give you slamming artwork, a good story, and make sure you get your money's worth in our book. So you're going to see artwork that right now, if I can just say and be bold and honest with it, we neck and neck with the big two. And
Yeah.
I've heard that. Matter of fact, Michael Davis, who is a mentor of mine of sorts, one of the original Milestone creators, he was like, "Bruh, trust me, you're doing things they're not doing."
Yeah,
He's like,
we've interviewed Michael on this show
yeah,
before.
yeah.
This is fantastic artwork, brother. I like the update to Titan's uniform too.
Yeah. If I can tell tell your viewers, when I first brought my characters to life, I've been creating characters since I was like 7, 8 years old. Like when we would have recess and we couldn't go outside, we'd have to stay indoors and do stuff. I would draw comic book characters. So I got notebooks that I've kept since I was a kid of like close to like 1,400 characters, and I based Titan's original costume off of 5 characters: Giant Man, Black Panther, Black Lightning,
And Black Goliath.
Black Goliath, yeah, and Tyrock from the Legion of Superheroes. But
Yeah.
it was too much, and so finally, as I revisited the character and I brought Titan back, I said, "Man, I got to change this costume." So in issue 2, he gets the new costume, and that's what you see here in issue 3. It's his new costume.
Yeah, that's a dope costume. I like that. This artwork is. I mean, that this one panel on the lower left hand side where he's getting choked out.
Yeah, that's a character called Mauler. Just to set that up, basically, Titan. The reason he changes his costume. I mean, I ain't giving nothing away at this point. Basically, he's out patrolling his city, Sky City, and he runs across this villain who was sent by a mysterious foe who we haven't shown as of yet to test Titan out. So Titan stops him, but he gets a little help from a character called Giant. So Giant is able to change size, what have you. As he changes, his mental faculties change with him. So he gets a little bit aggressive. So Titan is like, whoa, this character is aggressive. So Titan is trying to talk him down, but before Titan can stop him from rampaging, the character Mauler, who's an assassin, basically a mercenary, he kills Giant, and Titan feels that it's his fault, so he takes the blame. And so Titan literally stops being Titan for a short period of time because he can't bear to put his costume back on again, because him being Titan is what got this man killed. Because the guy was like, oh, and it was a little subtle jab, a little racism as well. The character was like, all you black guys look alike. So so Titan was like, he was like taken aback by that. And
this is a good question, my frustrated fan. Yeah. I actually had the same question. Is your Advent, is it one universe or is it multiple universes?
It's one whole universe. The Advent universe is one universe. And funny.
So regardless of the genre, whether it be a Western or a sci-fi or
it all happens in the Advent universe. Now, the titles that I produce for other creators, the creator-owned books, they have their own universes. If they want to be part of the Advent universe, they can. But the Advent universe is one whole universe. And it's funny that you mentioned Southside. I have a book called Cosmos. You might want to pay attention to that, because somebody from Southside may show up soon, like the next issue. But we're going to leave that alone.
Well, that's what's up.
Yeah. So it's fun to be able to do. I'm a fan. I'm a comic book fan at heart. So for me to do things like create a book like Cosmos, where I took a story where I had submitted to Marvel back in the day when Marvel was doing this line called Epic. And it made it through editorial for a couple rounds. But then they went another way. It was about a story revolving around Adam Warlock. They killed Adam Warlock. So I'm like, cool. When I did my own Advent Comics, I took that story and ran with it. They approved it, so they thought it was good. I'm going to use it. So what I did was, to make it different, I made it a big indie comic crossover. So right now we're up to 108 different indie comic creators and publishers who are participating. Companies like Dark Horse are participating. We had Wingless Comics. We had Concrete Comics. We had it's so many comics. Punt Press. The guys who did Fist of Justice. I mean, there's so many people who participated, and I was kind of surprised that these many people participated in this book. But I think they see the fun that I'm having doing these comics, and I think that's a little infectious. And they're like, sure, I don't mind. I mean, some big names are appearing in a future issue or two that I won't say at the moment, but. I mean, I was surprised. I'm like, oh, you're going to let your character be in my book? Cool, let's do it.
I love this comment by Mark Robinson. He says, you think you're being kind. You say your art is neck and neck with the big two. They have great cover art. You seem to have both great sequential and cover art.
That was the thing. That was the hook. When I first started Advent, I was like, okay, how can I get people to even look our books, look in the direction of our books? I was like, I got to hit them over the head with something that's going to draw them at least to the book. Once they come to the book, I got a good chance to get them to try the book after that. So my goal was originally to have big name artists do the covers. So our very first book, I had Bart Sears and Andy Smith do the cover on it. Second book, Andy Smith did the cover. And so I was just getting big names. Greg LaRoche did Regulators. So my whole thing was get established talent to do the covers and let the story speak for itself. Hopefully people vibe with it, and luckily they have. They enjoy what they read.
Sounds like War of the Independents.
War of the Independents came first. Dave Ryan is a good friend of mine. And hint, hint, Dave Ryan and Red Anvil appears in Cosmos, and as well as Titan appears in issue 6 of their War of the Independents. That was kind of a deal since we both. Dave Ryan had started his first, but he stopped. I started Cosmos and didn't stop. So
Right.
Cosmos is still going, and we're almost done. Issue 8 I did it on Kickstarter, and it just completed, so I'll be fulfilling that. And issue 9 and a special one-shot called Cosmos War is coming. And that one, I'm going to tell you, whether you a black comic lord, you're a white fan, Filipino fan, whatever color you are, you want to pick up Cosmos War. I'm telling you now. Mark my words, y'all going to be like, Slim, how did this dude do this? Mark my words. Mark my words.
All right. We'll have to bring you back when you do that book.
Definitely. As a matter of fact, when I do, I'm gonna bring some previews for y'all just to let y'all see what it look like. And trust me, it's fine. Trust me, it's fine. I'm not coming with that.
Let's make that a Black Comic Lords exclusive. We want first dibs.
You got it. You tell me when. Matter of fact, I'm sending out a preview of issue 9 and a 4-issue preview of issue 9 and a 4-issue preview to the people who backed this on Kickstarter. Just let them see what's coming. But if you bring me back, I will show that and more. Whenever you let me come back, I will give you the exclusive to premiere it to the world.
I think that qualifies as a...
This is a Black Comic Lords exclusive.
That's what's up. Yes.
That's what's up. All right. So let's move on to the next book.
Okay, sure. Blackfire. Blackfire is a covert government agent, and we did a book. It was actually my first crossover. I did it with 3 other brothers back in 2013, I believe. Well, we started in 2012, but we released it in 2013. It was called God Cell, Gate of the Gods. It was Vince White, it was Rashawn Rogers, Arthur Belfield, and myself. So we all had our own different comic companies and ideas and came together to do this story. Long story short, we were like the Beatles. We broke up. We didn't get it done. And I always felt bad about that because I never did a Kickstarter before that time in 2013 because I was like, I can afford to pay for my own comic books. I don't want to make people pay for my books. So I had a certain misconception about what Kickstarter was. Once I started using it, I was like, man, this is a good tool to bring people to our comics so they can see what we're doing. And I can go directly from me to the comic consumer. So, but it always left a bad taste in my mouth that we only did 1 issue before we broke up. So Blackfire was one of the characters that I donated into that story. So I was like, well, we're going to tell that story from Blackfire's point of view. So basically I started an issue or a series, and this is the series that we're going to tell what happened in that book.
So who is Blackfire?
She is a covert government operative. She's a secret agent, but she's also a superhero. Basically, when she was a child, she had a red blood disorder that basically her parents were top physicists in their field. So they were offered by a shadowy government agency a chance to save their daughter if they came to work for them. And so
that's the carrot. What's the stick?
The stick was she got the life-saving treatment, gave her flame powers. So she had to, in essence, work for the agency in order to work off that debt. Yeah. So also, this is issue 2 on the cover. Her ex-partner, who basically, like I said, it was a long story in God Cell. Basically, this is Ether, her partner. He was supposed to die in God Cell and come back. And basically, I skipped over a lot of it brought him back, and I'm going to tell you the backstory of what was supposed to happen in God's Cell in her book, and basically the mystery of why Ether is back. So there's a lot of story to tell. And this cover here is going to be the original cover. There is a variant, but this cover was drawn by recently departed artist and friend of mine, D-Rod Verma. He used to draw for IDW. An amazing artist from India. He drew for, right before he passed away, he drew for Chaos Comics. He was drawing Lady Death. So the man is amazing. The man is amazing. And so this is his last work for Advent Comics before he passed away a couple of years ago.
This next post says here, how long does it take for you to come up with an idea for a comic?
What you're seeing now are ideas that I came up with for comics back in the 90s. So Titan, Cosmos, Blackfire, all of these books I came up with in the early 90s. Titan came up, I did Titan like in the 80s because I hadn't graduated high school just yet. So it was late 80s. So basically, this first wave of Advent books, this first 22 titles, are ideas that I came up with when I was still a teenager. So some of the other stuff you're going to start seeing, like Southside, a couple other horror books that are coming down the pike. You're going to see them now. And like I said, these were ideas I just had from years ago that I were like, they kind of dope. So, I think people may like them and may rock with them. So we're going to put them out there. And luckily people have responded and they like what we're doing. That's some of the art from Blackfire #2.
Now, I'm looking at this picture over here to the left. Is that Blackfire?
No. To the left, that's a mystery character. That particular character's name, that's a mystery character. I'm gonna leave it at that as of now. But this art was done by the new team. Like I said, D-Raj passed away. So Ricardo Jamie is the artist. Jay Brown, who did colors for IDW and G.I. Joe for years, and Mindy Locke, and she's a letterer. She's more than a letterer. This woman is a lifesaver. She does a lot of she does the She Books lettering and editing for She Books. She's the letterer, editor, / every woman for this particular title and a couple others that we have going on.
Again, I'm looking at artwork as good as anything you see in the big two. Colors are popping. Inking is crisp. The breakdowns are beautiful. Lots of action. I mean, wow.
Yeah, and that's my thing. I'm not going to purposely try to put out something if I personally don't believe it doesn't have a certain standard to it. Now, I've done that in the past, but I have a threshold that now I'm like, okay, if it doesn't meet a certain threshold, I'm not going to put it out.
That's called growth.
Yes. I guess I'm growing by leaps and bounds, and not just this belly. My wife keeps telling me.
All right, let's check out the next one.
Okay.
This
is Blakemore.
This is a very different book.
It's a very different book, and it's actually our first book that we've done in conjunction. Blakemore is actually a movie / series that's coming. Well, actually, the first movie's already out. It's out on Tubi right now, but it's a series that's coming.
Is it a live action movie?
Live action series. You can go on IMDb, look it up. It's already here. So like I said, the first movie is on Tubi right now and some other different sites. So this book takes place after that movie and basically picks up the lead character. The lead character is like a supernatural, I won't say detective, but he helps people with supernatural problems. So it's
this boy that's on the screen here?
Yeah. Well, no, that this particular issue, there are children that are getting snatched. So Blakemore comes and he assists with finding these children. So you'll see Blakemore towards the end of the episode. But no, this cover shows the mysterious thief who's snatching children.
All right. So, what genre would you say this is?
This is more like a supernatural. I won't say horror, more like a thriller, supernatural thriller.
Okay. How many issues have come out so far?
This is the first one. It literally just had our FOC cut off through comic stores at Diamond. So it will be released in July. Issue 2 comes out right behind it. So it's a 2-issue miniseries. If you guys like it and rock with it, we're gonna do more of Blakemore. Yes, KAJ09ED. You can see more of our horror comics. We have a book called Chamber of Terror, issue 2. We're working on that now. We have another book. It's called, there's already another Lazarus, but this Lazarus is the biblical Lazarus. He's a police homicide detective. It's more like a cross between Saw and a police drama, like a Law and Order. So that one's coming out. That's a new one that's coming out. We have a new series called Frightmares. The first issue came out. That story was called Bounce Back. The first one was Bounce Back. And that one's released already. And we're working on issue 2 of that one as well. So you're going to see more horror from us as well. People seem to be responding to our horror titles.
Yeah, I mean, Afro-Gothic, black horror, however you want to phrase it, is really hot right now.
Okay, well, that explains why everybody's gravitating towards these books.
Yeah, a lot of titles coming out with that stuff right now.
I bet.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. Black Star Line.
Black Star Line. This is a personal favorite of mine. The only series at Advent that has real covers. And people are like, well, it doesn't tell what's in the book. Basically, what Black Star Line is, it's in a short and sweet pitch, comic books for us, by us. So it celebrates the African American characters and creators within the Advent universe. If you ain't black, chances are you ain't gonna be rocking with this book.
That's all right with us. Now, is this an anthology series?
Sort of, kind of. Each issue, it was started as a 6-issue series, and each issue has its own theme. Like the first issue was Unity, and in that first issue, I had a story with Titan and a story called with a group called Africa Force.
Yes, that's why, because I read this and I saw this is issue 5, and I have issue 1 with Africa Force, which is dope, by the way.
Right, and there's more Africa Force coming. If you
that was one of my questions is why where's my Africa? I didn't see an Africa Force book, and I got a little upset.
Well, Africa Force popped back up, and we did a Kickstarter only limited run. I limited actually to 300 copies made for our 10th anniversary, a book called Facets. And basically Africa Force showed back up. Nate, though, right before he got the job, right before he got the job at Marvel, he did that story for us. So that's in the, if you're able to hunt down a book, and y'all are the black comic lords, so I know you can find them. If you can find them out there, it's called Facets. I only made 300 of them. And because I truly said I've been in the game for 10 years. I want to do something special to market and make sure that anyone who has this book know they have a collectible. So there's only 300 copies in existence, 300 total.
I wish you hadn't told us this on the live, because there are people pulling out their phones right now, going on eBay, looking for Facets. By the time I'm done with this, it'll be gone.
I have 2 copies left because I had I for that 10th anniversary, I started doing box sets. So I have 2 box sets left. One I'm probably gonna keep for myself, and then one. Our 14th anniversary is on August 1st of this year, and I might put that box set in there. So you collectors, get ready. There's 1 copy of Facets left in creation that hasn't been claimed, and you're gonna be able to get it if you support the Kickstarter. First come, first serve.
All right. So in this particular issue 5.
Yeah, this particular issue, is the theme is war, and the actual title is War is Hell. Yeah. There are 2 stories. Like I said, each issue of Black Star Line has 2 different stories in it. This first story is called "The Struggle War is Hell," and as you can see here,
This artwork is tremendous, man.
well, thank you, and also more breaking news, more breaking news.
Is this another Black Comic Lords exclusive? Derek, where are
Other
you, man?
Black Comic Lords exclusive.
This is a Black Comic Lords exclusive.
What you got for us?
If you like the Glyph nominated South Side, this is basically the prequel story of where Malone is coming from. This is basically the origin story of Malone and how he goes back to DC for Southside #1. So that's the first story. The second story is a continuation from issue 4, Black South Starline #4. That book was called We the People. Basically, it's set in the near future. A race war has broken out between white and black people, and there's 6 black teenagers who are basically like soldiers in this war. So they make some moves and come to a realization, and they capture a piece of their enemies. They capture basically the racist president's daughter, and basically the 6 of them. It's the 6 of them against the world because not everybody in the story is who they appear to be. But anyway, it's the third final part of that story. It's the second story in Black Star Line #5. And this book is also going to be available in our 14th anniversary come August 1st.
That sounds like a little bit of Escape from New York, too.
Yeah. It is. And it's a dope premise because it's like a post-apocalyptic kind of landscape. In certain places like Chicago, it's post-apocalyptic, but then you got New Dixie where the white president lives, and basically, let's just say the kids take the war to New Dixie in a big way.
Well, I live in Florida, so I can appreciate that story.
Trust and believe. And so when people read it before, they were like, "Slim, how you get away with this?" I'm like, because it's my company, I can do this. I'm not beholden. I don't have shareholders who I have to, be beholden to. If they don't like it, they don't like it.
That's what's up. All right.
Matter. This is Dark Matter: Rise of the Lexicons. And I have to put that full title on there because there is another Dark Matter who was before us. So
it's like a Tribe Called Quest or Pip named Slipback. You have to say the whole thing.
You got to say the whole thing. And besides, my copyright is the whole thing. That's the only way I can get the copyright if I say the whole thing.
Gotcha.
All right, so this is a sci-fi fantasy space opera book. And this is the first issue, and it introduces the Lexicons, who are, if anything, it's a lot of Kirby kind of ish stuff going on. The Lexicons, for lack of a better term, are the New Gods mixed with the Inhumans, for lack of a better way to talk about the book. But this also crosses over into our cosmic line of books that we're slowly but surely getting ready to start ramping up. So once Cosmos and Dark Matter is going to basically be our front runner. Well, Dark Light and Crew is our front cosmic book. Dark Matter is going to take the place on our schedule, and you'll see more of that. Issue 2 is being done as we speak. My previous artist, because it was all painted interiors, he left comics and he left art all the way. You see beautiful interior. So it took a while. So
I think you're understating it, man. I mean, this is beautiful art.
Yeah, I had to find someone equivalent to him to continue the story. So I think
this looks more like a graphic novel.
Yeah, but it's a comic book. But I wanted to bring that big scope feel, and like I said, it's a space opera, so we're gonna try to do it right. So we're introducing. It has 3 stories in it, so you're gonna meet some of the key components that are gonna build out our cosmic universe. There's a character called Lance Wonder. He's like a scoundrel, type character, and he gets kind of caught up with a Universal arms dealer. But come to find out that Lance Wonder was actually killed, and most people don't know it yet. So this is a guy masquerading as Lance Wonder, and he's basically getting himself into a lot of trouble because Lance was a scoundrel and he pissed off a lot of people. So that's one of the characters that's involved in the series. The Lexicons, of course, is the first group in the story, and then in this book, there's also a backstory. Bass Reeves, the famous lawman from the Westerns, Bass Reeves gets transported to the future. So basically, in this book, he is in the 25th century on a faraway planet, basically as a lawman. And it's a cosmic thing. So the first part of it's called Black to the Future, and the first part of it appears as a backstory in this particular book.
Yo, that's what's up. That's a dope concept, man.
Yeah, well, thank you. And yes,
Backup's asking if you're accepting submissions.
Yeah, I do. And please don't get mad at me when I say this, but I do accept submissions. But like, as you see, I have a certain criteria. So
yeah, don't send your stick figures.
Yeah,
If your stuff ain't up to stuff, you're being kind. Let me say. Let me translate for y'all. Look, this brother's doing some serious stuff. He's got stuff that's as good, if not better, than Marvel and DC. So, look.
Yeah, come with your A game. That's all.
Yeah, come with your A game. Don't make him have to embarrass you.
Well, I'm a good person. I'm a good brother. I wouldn't do that. But there's been people who have brought me some stuff, and when I tell them no, they get mad at me. Like, I got one guy that's trolling me now on Facebook because I told him no. I was like, I didn't tell you no in a bad way, bro. That was just business. I mean, you see what I'm trying to do. Don't get mad at me because, I don't feel at this time you're ready for what Advent is doing. I mean, get back to work, buckle down, come back with something else. But, it is what it is. You can't please everybody.
Can't please everybody. All right. So what do we have next?
Cosmos.
Now, look, this is like your Avengers Endgame book. You mentioned something about War of Independence because these are characters from different other companies, right?
Right. Yeah. And so that
I recognize Dreadlocks back there.
Yeah, Dreadlocks. That's Dreadlocks by Andre Batts. Yeah. Dreadlocks is owned by Andre Batts and Urban Style Comics. Purge is by the legendary Roosevelt Pitts from Amara Comics. And these are issue 9 is the next issue up. So Natho Diaz and Mirza, I can't pronounce his name, Wanza. I call him Ma. Basically, it's his initials, MAW, because he has a incredibly long name to pronounce. And I'm sorry I'm mispronouncing your name, brother. Please forgive me. But Ma, they did this cover, and it's fire. It's fire.
This cover for issue 9 should be a poster, man.
Oh, it will be. It will be. Trust it. It will be. And then one of the variant covers is done by Vince White, and he did. You see some of the other Black heroes that appear in this particular book.
Yeah.
And issue 9 is also special. I don't know if it will be special to the Black Comic Lord audience, but as I was doing this book, Rich Buckler, who is a legend in the comic book industry, he worked with me on some of the stuff. Before he passed away, we had talks of bringing 2 of his characters into the Advent universe. His Darkling character, who appears in Cosmos, and also his Devil Hunter character, who appears in Cosmos. They were going to be, he basically was going to have his own little wing of the Advent universe, but sadly he passed away before we could make it happen. His last ever comic book cover is for issue 9, so you're going to see that, and that's going to be part of the Cosmos Kickstarter as well.
So this issue particularly is on Kickstarter right now?
Issue 8 just ended maybe like 2-3 days ago. Yeah, it was successfully funded. So in the next few days, I'm going to be busy getting that out to people, and I'm going to show them basically I'm going to show them a 4-page snippet from issue 9 and a 4-page snippet from the Cosmos War book. I wish I could show you. Forgive me, I'm not that savvy, but I do have pictures here on my tablet, but I'm not savvy enough to navigate to try to show it to you. But I'm definitely going to, like I said, if you invite me back, whenever you get a chance, even if you got 5 minutes for me, you get to see them first before I even send them out to everybody else. I'm going to break it here and let the Black Comic Lords audience see it first. And trust me, when I tell you, if you throw Titan and the rest of the stuff that I'm bringing this fire, I had to come with some heat on this one. Because other companies.
Can you email them?
Oh yeah, I'm emailing to you tonight.
Email them right now. Derek will put them up.
Bet. As a matter of fact, how do I do that? Hold on. I'm gonna email them to you right now. Can I put this down for a second to get my phone?
Sure. Go get your phone, man.
Okay.
You see, we working for y'all, right? We bringing you that heat. We're bringing you those Black Comic Lords exclusives. You're not going to be able to find this anywhere else.
That's right. You get them first. Y'all get them first.
Feel free to support the Black Comic Lords with a little super chat. Hit the little $sign button. Support the Black Comic Lords.
All right.
And certainly like and share the videos if you're enjoying the show. I'm really feeling this cover on the left, bro.
yeah. That, and everybody's like, how did the 3 of them get together? You're going to see, because at the end of issue 8, it kind of shows you how they got together.
Just the symbolism of having these 3 characters from 3 different publishers.
Yeah,
Black independent publishers.
I call this cover Legends.
Yeah, man. This is.
Is
this the first cover you have with these these characters?
Yeah. Brother Andre and Brother Roosevelt were kind enough to let me put their characters on the cover. So this is the first time my character meets their characters, and they let me put their characters on the cover.
Man, and this has not come up on Kickstarter yet. You said the 8 just finished.
8 just finished. This is the one that's coming up next.
I need to get this issue.
Yeah.
For the cover alone, I gotta get this issue.
And actually, issue 9 is going to be 40. Right now, it's 40 pages. It might bump up to another 8 pages, and the Cosmos War book is 32 or 36 pages. I'm not sure.
You said Cosmos War is going to drop in your anniversary in August, right?
No, Cosmos War is going to drop the same time as Cosmos 9. It's going to be like a double feature.
Oh, okay.
So you can get them both at the same time. All right, let's see. Let me go ahead and get you this email edition. Send it to the email that I have for you.
Yeah, blackcomiclords@gmail.com. gmail.com, yeah.
Forgive me, everybody, for holding up the show. I apologize.
That's all right. The cover on the right, who's the artist? I didn't ask you, who's the artist on the first one?
The cover on the right is Vince White, and he owns Darklight Productions, Darklight Studios. Darklight Studios.
Hey, Mark Robinson with the super chat.
There you go.
Thank you very much, brother. I really appreciate that.
The Legend of Willpower is his.
We have to give me 1 second, Tony. Yeah, we have to recognize this stupendous moment with our super chat.
Donation. It's a donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting on me.
Thank you.
Do my super chat dance. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it, brother. So what are you saying, Tony?
The guy on the right, Vince White, and he owns the Legend of Willpower, and he also is the mind behind the Powerverse comic books. So he did that cover on the right. That cover has Dreadlocks, my Titan, his Willpower, Rashawn Rogers, Geist character, My Ether, Steven Sash, Scott, his character Reach, and that version of Titan. I'm not certain where that version of Titan came from, but there's an otherworld Titan that's there. When I tell you the book is getting wild, it's getting wild. Trust me, it's getting wild. The story's getting wild.
What about the one on the left? Who was the artist on the cover?
That's Nathan Diaz, who's currently doing
Nathan again.
Yeah. Nathan been rocking.
I hate to tell you, Tony, you're not gonna be able to keep Nathan for much longer.
Well, Marvel already posted him, but he told me, he was like, when I thought he was already gone, he was like,
oh damn.
He's like, I'm not leaving. He was like, I'm on Titan. He was like, don't worry, I'm back for Titan. So he came back between his Marvel stuff and was like, let's get the next issue done. So and it's a funny thing, and I brag on all my creators, the Advent creators. I call them the Untouchables.
Yeah.
Because you see the artwork they putting down. So people are like, oh man, how you gonna be all cocky to your people that good? No, my people are that good. They that good.
Yeah. Frustrated Fans Show is not to be undone. $10 super chat for BCL, bringing creators from DC to the light. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Derek, let's drop our video.
Donation. It's a donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting on me.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We might even be able to make the rent this month. Appreciate that. Keep these lights on. I like the old guard comic books because of the drawings and artwork. Is there a particular name for that artwork?
No. Somebody recently, can't remember who I was talking to. They said that they thought we had a house style. I'm like, nah, not really. House style is kind of old. But he was like, well, a lot of your art looks like it's Bart Sears. I'm like, that because it probably was Bart Sears. He's like, oh, okay. He said, well, this artwork looks like it was by that guy that works for DC. I'm like, it is. If you're looking at it and it reminds you of somebody's work, it is. Like our Genesee book that we just released. Well, released it last year. It was actually Eddie Barrow's first comic book work before he went to Batman. So if you're seeing a lot of stuff and it looks like art from somebody famous from DC and Marvel, chances are it's probably them.
Yeah, the art from the Dark Matter book we just looked at, that looked very much like Bart Sears type of artwork.
Unfortunately, Bart Sears didn't do anything on Dark Matter. That was an artist from Samuel Santos from Chile. He was from Chile.
You just helped Frustrated Fans Love Life.
What happened? Guess she wants the book about DC. Oh yeah. Tell her, come on, and wait till she see issue 4. Issue 4, like I said, is done. We're just coloring it and lettering it now. I'm gonna send you I'm gonna send you art from issue 8, so you can show your fans, as well as issue 9 and the Cosmos War. Is that cool? That I can do that?
That's absolutely cool. While Derek gets that and loads up, we're gonna move on to the next
okay.
2 books that we have here.
Okay, Streets and Thorn. Thorn is hot. When I tell you,
I've pre-ordered this book, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, that raises a point I wanted to make sure everyone's aware of.
Okay.
Sometimes with the independent creators, you can only get the comics through their websites or through Kickstarter, what have you. Advent Comics is now, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Tony, you now are distributed through Diamond. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, before we got with Diamond, on my own, we managed to have sales on 6 continents and 54 countries. So when I brought that to Diamond, they were like, oh, okay. They were like, okay. They were kind of swayed, but then when they saw some of the books that I was bringing to them, and then they saw that I had established creators whose books I was also about to bring to them, I was like, what y'all trying to do? I mean, I can do it myself. And they were like, no, we got you. And sure enough, Diamond took a chance on me. We've been rocking ever since. This book, Thorn, it was just in previews. Like I said, we just did our FOC on that one.
Right.
And people over on Twitter are eating this joint up. I mean, they ready for this one. And Thorn is it's not your average. So
I dropped this. I dropped this in FOCs on Black Comic Lord. So I hope y'all listened and pre-ordered this book. I think the FOC just closed on this one, didn't it? It
just closed. Yep.
It just closed. So you can probably still go to your LCS and ask them to pull it for you. Mm-hmm. Is it only issue 1 or issue 2 is already in the way?
We did an issue 0 for Free Comic Book Day.
Okay.
And we sent it out.
I tried to find it. My LCS didn't have it.
I know, because after I did it, Diamond said that they were only going with the big companies, and I'm like, cool, I'll do it myself.
That defeats the purpose of Free Comic Book Day.
So it was all good. So I put it out there on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. I was like, any comic book shop interested? And over 70 comic book shops were like, hey, give us a copy. So I sent it around the country to the shops who said they wanted it. I sent it to them. And matter of fact, companies like, shops like Gulf Coast, my man BBC, he was like, hey, 30 minutes, bro. He said, all the copies you sent me was gone in under 30 minutes. It's gonna be, trust me when I say it's fire. And yeah, this cover is dope. Thorn is basically the character here that's been, held at gunpoint. Basically, he is no nonsense. He's the defender of Rosebush Heights, excuse me. And he doesn't take mess. So a lot of
what's his power set?
He's like a Batman, but he's our Batman. So basically, people who got mad when I showed a preview over on Twitter because they were like, how can you have that black guy beating up cops? Well, cops beat up black people. So they were like, really? That's what this book is? And I'm like, yes, that's what that book is. Okay, so you got Cosmos 8. That's the cover from Cosmos 8.
Wait, hold on, Derek. Before we do the Cosmos 8, we also want to go through Streets.
Yes, Streets is
that was the other one.
That is a book where we bring all of our primary black characters together. Clockwise, you got Scout from our Project Homeland book. You got Nimrod the Hunter, who's the king of the Nubians. At the bottom, you got Hannibal, the actual Hannibal from Legends. He's an immortal superhero.
Whoa, hold on. Slow down. You're ripping through these. I don't think people may not maybe pick it up on some of the nuances of what you're talking about.
Okay.
This character in the brown and yellow. Yeah, that was the character that was mentioned in your Black Star Line #1 in Africa Force.
Yes, Nimrod the Hunter, yes.
And that's a group of basically African gods and demigods,
yes,
from the past with powers.
They're immortal. Yeah, they're immortal. They reside in this quasi-mystical realm, Kush, and basically they are the protectors of the earth. Right. So so you're gonna see a lot more of these characters. Trust you're gonna see a lot more of the characters.
And then when you say Hannibal, you're talking about the
Hannibal Barker,
the one who rode on the elephants and conquered the Roman Empire.
Yes, that Hannibal Barker. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So is he immortal?
He is immortal. He may or may not be one of the Nubians, but he is immortal. He is immortal.
All right. So going clockwise over.
Right. And Hannibal is a member of a team called the Regulators. Hannibal and Titan, they're teammates. The Regulators are like our version of the Avengers. The character on the far bottom left, that's Nia X. She's the daughter of Nimrod. And basically, she's the most powerful woman in the Advent universe.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And the one on the top in the red.
That's Scout. He is part of a book called Project Homeland. He's one of our patriotic heroes. Basically, his powers are teleportation and super strength, and he's a great hand-to-hand fighter. and you see a lot of him in the Project Homeland books, and you're going to see a whole lot more of him come Streets 2, because he and Nimrod kind of share the screen space in Streets 2, which is being drawn right now. And
So if regulators are basically the Avengers, Streets
Mhm.
is more like the Defenders.
I don't know if you say they're defenders, because they're not really a team. The Streets book would be more like Marvel Knights, how they kind of just put them all in a book, but they come together for a purpose. In Streets, there was a hero called Blaster who actually he dies in the beginning of the book, and it's from this street drug called Burn. So all of these characters come together because of that death in some type of way, and they come to find out why Burn is moving through the streets and to do something. So it's a superhero story, but it's also a social book. It has a lot of different overtones, and there's a lot of characters that are going to be appearing in this book from the Advent universe. So you're going to see a lot of heroes, a lot of villains from us. And right now it's a 4-issue series, so look forward to that.
All right, so Derek, let's load up the issue 8 of Cosmos. So here we go. Tell us what this is about, Tony.
Cosmos 8, the character sitting in the chair is Dominion. Dominion is the villain of this series. And like I said, I wrote a story for Marvel back when they had their epic line. They were looking for writers and such. And the story was written around Adam Warlock. Marvel decided to do something else with Adam Warlock, basically kill him. And they were like, the story was good, but we're going a different way with the character. So I took the story and I decided to use the story when I started Advent, but I decided to basically shape it around a different character. So this character kneeling before Dominion is called Genesis. And Genesis, at this point, Genesis and Dominion have a lot in common, and we'll leave it at that. But basically, it's a sprawling story, and it wraps a lot of different comic book companies and creators in on the story, not just superheroes. Like my man Ratty Lewis, he has a book called Tech Watch, which was like a black government secret agency, and Tech Watch was in here in issue 3. So basically, our Project Homeland is a secret organization, but basically, Tech Watch was like, if Homeland can't get it done in Defend the Earth, we're gonna step in. So basically, stuff like that. People were like, "Bro, how did you do that?" I was like, "Well, we just managed. Ratty let us use his characters, and it was perfect how we were able to make it work, and everything that's set up can be revisited." So I tried to also set up everything so that if other creators want to use our characters, they can do that. Or if we want to do another crossover just directly with us, we can do that as well.
That's what's up. You're really sort of laying the groundwork for this collaborative universe.
I'm trying, and myself and like 8 other creators. Like I said, this story's been in the making for 20 years. So when I first started really doing this back in 2012, when I was talking to other creators and asking them would they let their characters be involved in it, when it finishes, myself and like 8 other creators, we made a pact that basically it's not going to be one of those you do this story and it's forgotten. Like certain characters that appear from other companies are going to have like lasting injuries. A character called Celtic Tiger from Punt Press, he gets injured in Cosmos, and he's going to take that injury back to his own comics with him. When the book ends, there are several characters of mine who are going to go. I'm going to loan to another comic book publisher for him to use them how he chooses to use them. So it's going to be canon, and it's going to be an effect that you're going to see in other people's books as well.
Okay. What do we got next, Derek?
I'm sorry I'm taking so long. I'm trying to send you everything. I'm trying to send you some stuff that your viewers can see what we're working with here.
Oh, what's this?
That's art from Cosmos 8.
This is the interior art?
Yeah, that's interior art.
That's what's up. Who are these characters we're seeing here?
The alien in the front is a character called Eon. He's one of the Universals. The Universals are the elder abstract beings, in a sense, to protect the omniverse, and they protect this universe. So Eon is dealing with the character in the rear. He's Neo. He's a time traveler from the end of time. So Neo comes back into the present because basically there is no more time. So he finds out that time has been wiped out. Something happened in the past. He comes back to find out. So Eon and the Universals are they're not your basic heroes, so to speak. So they got some shenanigans that they're working with as well, and they're trying to stop Dominion, but they don't do it the right way. So basically, in this scene, Eon is about to kill Neo. So that's what we're gonna leave you with. All right, I think I got everything set.
Now, is this one of those series that you would have? Can you get caught up to speed with reading this series, or do you have to sort of...
you can get caught up to speed in this particular, just reading that particular issue alone. I do make all the issues available, even the one shots, but they're written in a way that you don't have to get every issue to enjoy them. Right. So you can just get that one. Okay, Cosmos 9 is coming your way right now. I hope you enjoy these pages you're seeing.
Again, this artwork is nothing less than stellar, man. It's just top quality stuff.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And
so for those doing your submissions, please make sure your artwork is as good as this. This is your benchmark.
Oh yeah, and I'm always down to hire brothers and sisters. So please don't take it that up or believe that I'm not, because I relish the opportunity to hire brothers and sisters to work with us. So please come on board.
Love to see it, man. Love to see this high quality of artwork.
Okay, I just sent 9 to you, so you're about to get the art from issue 9. And it's got a couple spoilers in there, so you're gonna see some stuff.
We won't call them spoilers. We'll simply call them exclusives.
Exclusives, yeah. You guys are getting it first. Okay, and I just sent Cosmos War stuff to you as well, so you good.
That Cosmos War, I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, and I'm not even gonna send you any of the big reveals, but yeah, I gotta keep y'all coming for something, but I'm revealing just enough so that you can have some understanding of what we coming to you with. All right. So you should have everything there. Let me know when you got it.
Well, while Derek's loading that, why don't we take a look at a couple of the other books that you have here?
Sure thing.
Whoops. What did we just do? So you mentioned this book on the left before.
Mm-hmm.
Genesee?
Yeah. Genesee. Genesee is owned by a good friend of mine, Gerald Cooper, of Envision Comics. When I first came on the Facebook, this was one of the first brothers I met on Facebook. Real stand-up dude, and basically, with me, I'm a real loyal person. So if you show me loyalty, you get loyalty back from me. So he just stood up for me on an issue where he didn't even have to, because people were trying to study my name. And he was like, bro, he said, you don't have to explain to me. He said, I know the kind of dude you are. Stood up for me and rock with me. And I never forgot that. And so he was about to get out the game. And I was like, where you going, bro? I said, we about to bring Genesee to the masses, especially now that, Diamond come knocking at my door. He was like, what? I said, yeah, bro. I said, trust me, you stood up for me when nobody was sticking up for me. I said, I'm going to do the same for you. So basically, I told him, I said, don't go nowhere yet. So we took his book, published it around the world. Issue 2 is finishing up. Andy Smith, Alan Goldman, Sean Hill, Walt Bonza. They're working on it now. So when
Sean Hill, you mean Sean Damian Hill?
Sean Damian Hill, my brother from DC. Yes.
Oh, come on, man. Sean
Bruh.
Damian Hill?
Bruh. When I tell you this work is for, and Aaron Mead. Can't forget your Aaron. I'm sorry, my brother. Yes. When I tell you these names is working on this book and these pages look dynamite.
Look,
bruh.
Sean's one of the hottest artists out right now. We interviewed him a month ago.
Yeah, and Sean has done a lot of variant covers for me, but Sean has put some pencils down for this book. Bruh. That's all I'm saying. Wait till y'all see Genesee 2, and it's coming soon. Walt is doing the yeah, indeed, brother. If they loyal to me, I'm loyal to them, and that's my motto. That's my motto. So, I mean, I'm old school in that respect. So, people show me loyalty, you getting it right back. I ride with you till the wheels fall off.
That's what's up. And Sunshine, we already talked about.
Yeah, that's my love letter to my baby girl.
Yeah, man, that movie that issue caught me in my feels, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it touched you, my brother. Okay, I think
now talking about going into the fields.
Oh, soulmate.
One of the things that is near and dear to my heart, I talk about it all the time in these spaces, is the concept of Black super love.
Yep.
Don't get a lot of Black super love.
Yep.
The big two certainly doesn't give it to us. I always challenge people, can you name me two Black super, a Black superpowered couple in mainstream comics that have an ongoing title, that are in ongoing titles? You can't. You can name couples here and there that, used to date, 2 years ago in a limited series run, but in terms of an ongoing title, it's just not there. I think in Marvel, the only one I think currently is Miles Morales and Starling. That's it.
Yeah.
They broke up T'Challa and Storm, which is, one of the most powerful couples, and Blue Marvel and Monica Rambeau are gone now.
Yeah. T'Challa and Aurora were our Reed and Sue. And
yes, they were.
I don't think Marvel recognized that we liked them that much, but it should have been, but by how vocal the fans were about it. And
I don't want to talk about it because I get emotional and then I'll start going on. I'll be on a 30-minute tirade that'll end up being his own video that Derek will end up splicing together. Okay. So let's talk about Soulmate. What is this?
Okay, Soulmate.
The cover alone is alluring.
It's a story about two characters, Bion and Tyron Montgomery. Bion is the man, Tyron is the female. It's a couple that gets married. They love each other. It's pure Black love.
I love it already.
Yeah, and their love was so powerful that. Well, first let me back up. Bion is a police officer. Tyron is a lawyer. So they run afoul of some people who choose to break into their home one night, and they are basically murdered. They're basically murdered. But their love was so powerful that the forces of the universe, the Universals, Eon and a couple other Universals, decide that Agape, that's one of our Universals, they decide that love story is not going to end. They were touched so much by this couple that they decide that love is not going to end. So basically, they bring them back. But, like I said, these are abstract beings whose version of love and togetherness is not what ours is. So they make it so that their love can never be extinguished, but also one appears at a time in our universe. So Bion comes back to life, and he gets these superpowers, and he's looking for his wife. And all the while, his wife is in another dimension or what have you. And basically, they keep switching places, and they're looking for each other. But it's to a point where they can never find each other. They can never be together. But they both know that the other one is still out there. So this book is about them searching, trying to be together. So it sets up some superhero type stories. Soulmate or Bion, his superhero name is Fusion. He appears in Cosmos as well. So you can see him in Cosmos, but this is his one shot to introduce him. The issue 1 is actually being drawn now. So he's going to have a full-on ongoing series.
All right. So this is his introduction is in this issue, and then from here he's going to go to Cosmos.
He's already in Cosmos. He first appeared in Cosmos in issue 2, and then again in issue Nexus from Dark Horse appeared in issue 4. So it was issue 5 he appeared again, and then he appeared in issue 7 and 8.
So this one shot basically is like his origin story.
It's his origin story, yes.
Got you.
Yes.
Got you. All right. I think Derek has issue 9 of Cosmos loaded up.
Okay.
Derek, you want to bring that up? Oh, wow.
That's in the left cover at the top. That's the trade paperback, the first trade paperback. The second trade paperback the cover's being drawn now. Well, actually, it's already drawn. It's being colored now. Chris Batista, Supergirl, Steel, DC Comics. He drew the second cover. This was a cover drawn by D. Raj Verma before he passed. That's the cover for 8 again. One of the covers from 9. There will be 6 variant covers for issue 9, and then that's the cover for Cosmos War. When I tell you,
who drew the cover for Cosmos War?
Alan Goldman. The cover artist is the same as the interior artist, so you're going to see no difference between the cover art and interior art. I know a lot of people were like, "Man, I hate when comic book companies do that. They draw you in with the cover artist, then the
bait and switch you."
Yeah, they bait and switch you. I ain't doing that to y'all. Y'all getting the same artist from cover to cover. That's how we're gonna rock with you. And I gave you one interior page from Cosmos War because that's all I had on my phone.
Derek, do you have that one?
I think you're gonna see art from 9 first. Yeah, that's art from 9. I don't have the page with the lettering, but
this artwork is dope.
Yeah.
Look at that lower panel.
Yeah. So it'll make. And actually, I'm kind of glad y'all didn't see the words because the words give some certain things away. But yeah, that's the artwork you're gonna find in the Cosmos series. That's Alan Goldman. Alan Goldman did Superman, Justice League for DC. He's one of our original Untouchables. When I first got Alan, I had to lure him away from another company, and we had to use a fake name. I don't want to give his fake name away in case
his alias.
He had to go back to it. Yeah, in case he had to go back to it, we had to use his fake name. And like I said, he's one of our original Untouchables as well.
That is
Cold Tiger. Appreciate that, brother.
That's Yo, man, you ain't playing around, bro.
I told you I'm not playing no games. My tagline this year, and I've been saying a lot on Facebook and Twitter, is 2023 Advent Comics is going to war. So I'm not taking no prisoners this year. This is one of the variant covers. This one, I think, Andy Smith did this one. This is a wraparound cover. A lot of the characters who appear in this one, you'll see in the book. You got Rich Buckler's Darkling at the bottom. This character wasn't seen for 30 years. Her last appearance was in the Archie Comics Mighty Crusaders book before. No, I think she was with DC at the time, Mighty Crusaders, before he banished her, so to speak. We brought her back for Cosmos. She hadn't been seen for 30 years before then. You got Red Anvil's Mighty Titan, Genesee. Before I got Genesee and published him, Envision Comics let him be a part of the story. So,
So
go ahead.
just real quick, the
Uh-huh.
premise. I mean, you're bringing all these characters together. I see these creatures they're fighting on the cover.
Yeah, at this point, I can tell you now. I can tell you what's going on. Okay, so basically, a lot of the storylines. It's a multi-storyline, multi-plot line book, but they're starting to mesh together. So here you have the characters are all coming together on this one planet. There's a character called Dominion who basically was starting a lot of ruckus. Dominion has come to our universe now to destroy it. So the characters are coming together. So what Dominion did was, before he got to the Advent universe, he went through millions of other universes and just wreaked havoc. And he captured a lot of characters, and he used those characters to power. He let this thing go called the Creation Wave. Creation Wave basically was destroying universes. So he stole heroes from each of these universes. At the end of issue 8, I mean, the book is out. The end of issue 8, the heroes come together and then they breach this device and come to find out Genesee from Envision Comics is standing there. And basically he's like, I will have revenge. So, cut long story short, the heroes from these other universes are free now. They all of them want a piece of Dominion. Dominion is not going back down. He has an army that he's collected from the universes that he's destroyed. So basically, he's brought his army. The superheroes got their army now. So it's a big war issue. So issue 9 kicks off the war. The heroes are free now from all these different universes. That's how Purge and Dreadlocks and all these characters get together with Titan and some other ones. So they fight Dominion and his forces.
So what you said Cosmos 9 and War are going to drop at the same time, right?
Yes.
And what date is that?
I don't have a date for it yet because let's just say one very important company who may or may not have made big news this week had a change, and I had to change some stuff in the book. So as soon as I get that drawn and that change drawn, we're gonna go ahead and put it out. So we're looking at hopefully the end of the year. By hopefully December, I can put it on Kickstarter. The reason I'm putting it on Kickstarter first is because the Kickstarter fans have rocked with Cosmos from day one, and I'm like I said, I'm loyal, so I'm gonna give it to them first before I take it to comic book stores. The first trade that captures issues Cosmos 1 through 4, the special 3.5 issue, and the book in Cosmos Omni War. That's all included in the trade paperback volume 1, which your local comic book shops have in the stores now. Barnes & Noble has it. Amazon has it. You can find it anywhere. Anywhere comics are sold, you can find it. Like I said, I just got finished with the Kickstarter for 8, and then Kickstarter for 8 is the Cosmos trade paperback volume 2. So I'm putting that together now. So I'll have that available now shortly. Hopefully by the end of the year, you'll have that as well. So once I take care of the Kickstarter backers and make sure these books are done, then Cosmos 9 and the double feature, which includes Cosmos War, is going to drop. So hopefully I can get it done by the end of the year.
Wow, I'm looking forward to it, man. You got me amped up for this book.
Oh, well, thank you.
This
brother.
one and Cosmos War.
Yeah, you ain't seen Cosmos War yet. I just gave you a little snippet of that one, of Cosmos 9. Cosmos War is done by the same artist, Alan Goldman. So that's another reason we're doing it. We're trying to do it perfect because Cosmos War has a lot of even though Cosmos, all the issues have superstars in them, Cosmos War is nothing but crossovers. Nothing but crossovers.
So here's our last book that we wanted to talk about.
Okay, Hit Squad. Yes, Hit
Now you got
Squad.
this. You got this tagline: "Killing is their business, and business is good." Now I
Indeed,
remember that
indeed,
from Major Payne.
indeed. They're a group of assassins, the world's best assassins, highest paid assassins, most dangerous assassins. They're also super villains. But the Hit Squad has a secret, one that they're willing to kill for. Um, the the Hit Squad is basically the seven deadly sins of man. They've come to
Oh,
Earth to just I'm not gonna curse on your show, but to f up the Earth. So they take on a human assassin who's the best at what he does. His name is Rico Brand. So in the course of a mission, Rico finds out they're actually demons. So it sets Rico against the Hit Squad. So the Zero issue has them going to war. And when it ends, the smoke clears, the Hit Squad is left doing what they do. But issue one, which will be coming out shortly, the 36-page book. Paul Rodriguez, who did art for issue Titan 2, and he does art for a couple other indie companies. He's working on that now. We're more than halfway done with the book. So it's a 36-page book. So hopefully we'll have that done by the end of the year as well.
that's what's up. So where can people get these books? What's your website?
Oh, adventcomics.com. Simple as that. Not only can you get my books, which I call the Advent Universe. If you click on the tab at the top that says Advent Universe, you can get all of my books, the ones that I personally do. And then there's another tab called the Unbound Realms. That's the creator owned books that I publish for other creators. You can get those books as well. So far, we have 14 creator owned books that we're publishing for other people. So,
And you have more on your website than simply books. You
oh,
have merch
oh
too,
yeah,
right?
yeah, we got merchandise. I just started some new items. Yeah, those are some of the Unbound Realm titles. Um, that site has to be updated because there are a lot more that have been added since that. Buddy McGill, the guy who created Nexus for Dark Horse, that's his book. I'm publishing his book. Um,
Frustrated asks, can I get back issues from the website?
oh, of course, yes sir, yes sir. Our website has it all. Our website has it all. If you don't want to get them through your comic book shop, you can get them from our website. You can get our books from Amazon, Comixology. Comixology used to be Comixology and Comixology.
I don't know what Comixology
Yeah,
is
I don't know
anymore.
what they're doing right now. Drive Through Comics, Barnes and Noble, Indie Planet, Kindle, of course, your comic book shop. You can get our books everywhere. So, but yeah, we trying to do it, man. We like I said, it's a process, and we're making it happen. And I just want to thank you all for even just rocking with us for a little bit. Yeah, that's some of our merchandise. These are the backpacks. They're called convention backpack bundles. So you get a backpack that's at the character Advent. There's an actual character named Advent in our universe. He appears in Cosmos. That's his backpack in the top left. Inside the backpack, you get a T-shirt, you get comics, and you get the backpack. The
Okay.
Universals that I talked about, they got their own backpack. Um, at the top right, that's the Titan gift box. So you
Yeah.
get a box with all the variant covers, Titan T-shirt, coffee mug, all kinds of little collectibles. So in every Kickstarter, I give you a box set. So for the collectors, because a lot of people are like, "Hey man, I want all the variants, I want everything," and I put it all together. So not only do you get just that one, you get the entire. Like for Titan, the next one is Titan 5. You get all the variants from issue 1 to 5. So they all come in that one box. We do
That's
trading
what's up.
cards. Um, we're on this third series of trading cards right now. We actually are done. We're just proofreading them, and we're going to send them out to get printed. People loved our trading cards. We even went back, man, like the old bazooka trading cards. We have bubblegum sticks that come in our trading cards. And that's one of the hobby boxes. Comes with 20 individual package cards inside of a box of cards. And we're going to do it big for Series 3. Like I said, Series 3 is coming up now. Hey, frustrated fans, thank you, brother. Appreciate the support.
You made some new fans tonight, I'm sure.
I hope so, man, because that's my goal. Because my goal is to have everybody who loves comics to put Advent Comics in your hands. That's it. Now, you may not like us. If you read it, that's fair. But I think you'll be pleased with what we're doing. I just want you to give us a try. So
tell us about what's the future of Advent Comics.
Oh man, I'm already working on anniversary 15. Anniversary 14 that comes in August. Basically, a lot of people, believe it or not, 14 years in, they still don't know who we are. So this Kickstarter for 14 is going to be something like. So basically, every book we've ever done is basically going to be on Kickstarter. So people can get an idea of what we do, how we doing it. But anniversary 15, I got some surprises. I always keep some surprises up my sleeve. Let me tell you, the star power that I already got lined up, and it was amazing that when I reached out to certain people, they were like, "Oh, say less, we got you." And I was like, "Wow, really? We came a long way." And basically, it's going to be a book. It's going to be a project. I haven't decided if it's going to be 100 pages or even more. That project's already started. And the variant covers and everything is already done. Big names. No lightweights on this one. No lightweights at all. I'm coming with top flight names. So Black Comic Lords, you will not be disappointed because every single name is big. I'm just going to throw, I can do this because it's my company. I'm going to throw a couple of names out. Throw a couple of names out at you that's participating in the 15th anniversary.
I think this sounds like another Black Comic Lords exclusive, Derek.
Hey, I'm going for 4. Hopefully that's the record. You got it.
This is a Black Comic Lords exclusive.
You pushing the limit on exclusives, bro.
I know. I'm gonna stop.
No, don't stop. Fans don't want
some of the creators who are participating in year 15, who've already completed their covers and their projects for us, include you got Sean Damon Hill, I already spoke of. You got Raymond Gay. You got Gilly Sharp, who draws for Marvel and DC. His project's almost done. I'm trying to think who I can say still leave some surprises for year 15. We still got a whole year for that. Of course, some of our older people who've been rocking with us. We got Chris Cross. He did a cover that's going to drop in 15th anniversary.
I believe we established at our last interview with Chris Cross that he can only be referred to as the legendary Chris Cross.
The legendary Chris Cross.
Yeah.
Funny story. When I started Advent, I was going to make him my art director. I couldn't afford him back then. But Chris Cross, I got love for you, my brother. Got love for you. But yeah, we got some high-powered names. I don't want to give away too many surprises. So I want y'all to stick around for a whole year till we get to year 15. But yeah, we trying to do
cranking out books like this, brother. I'm sure we'll all be along for the ride.
I'm gonna try, brother. I'm not gonna lie to y'all and blow smoke. It's hard. It's hard. But with anything that you love, I think that determination that I have for it makes it all worth it. I mean, I'm gonna make it happen for y'all. So hopefully y'all stick around, make it, to the point where y'all want to see it, y'all want to read it. So
well, speaking of smoke, you definitely bringing it. So I'm gonna encourage each and every one of you, go hit up this site, buy these books. Advent Comics is doing big things. This brother's been in the game for 14 years. 14 years of cranking out high quality works. And as he said, a lot of people don't know who he is.
They don't.
That's
They
why.
don't.
That's why we're doing
They don't.
this, because
Yeah.
we need to alleviate that. That's a problem. That's a
As
problem.
he said, let me introduce myself.
Let allow him to reintroduce himself.
Indeed.
There are a lot of talented brothers and sisters out there doing really incredible work, and it's important that we put shine on them, the work they're doing, the characters that they're creating, original Black characters that they're creating, that we complain about all the time. Stop, race swapping characters and whitewashing characters.
Can I say this? This is very important.
Please.
If you want original Black characters, there are companies out here doing it. You got Dream Fury, you got Concrete Comics, you got Second Sight Publisher, you got Wingless Comics, you got Greg Elise, you got Robert Jeffries and 133 with Jason Reeves. You got so many brothers and sisters out here that are doing it and doing it big. So there's no reason for us not to say we can't find the characters or the things that we want to see in comic books, because it's out here. My man Jibba Griot Entertainment. There's so many talented brothers and sisters out here. Trust me, we're out here. So just look for us. We're out here. Please. All right, let me get off my soapbox now.
No. It leads to my next point. One of the things we like to do when you interview with us,
okay,
we consider you family. So
would
like you to look into the camera.
Okay.
You can take me off the screen, Derek. I don't need to be in that. Look into the camera and say your name and say, I'm a Black comic lord.
I'm Tony Kittrell of Advent Comics, and I'm a Black comic lord.
Yes, sir, you are. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, fellas. Thank you to all your followers. I really appreciate y'all letting me come on tonight. I truly appreciate you. Thank you.
It is our absolute pleasure when I tell you that from the heart. We have some other upcoming things coming up. We have an interview with the Ken Quattro.
Yes,
writer of Invisible Men, writer and curator of comics.
Yes, he is the man.
He is
Check
the
out
man.
that show. Check out that show. That's going to be huge. I will be here for that one.
A week. Is it a week from today? June.
Yep.
9 p.m. You're not going to want to miss this. Ken, if you don't have the book Invisible Men, I highly suggest between now and then, you have a week, go to Amazon, go to our website, blackcomiclords.net. There's a link to this book. You can buy it, have it shipped to you in a couple days, and read this book. This book is an important book that talks about the originators of Black comic culture in this book. And this man goes into tremendous detail, and this is going to be the start of a series of interviews that we're going to do with this man regarding these great creators of history.
It's hard.
So, very important series.
Indeed.
There's stuff that we do that's fun. There's stuff that we do for the culture. This is definitely one for the culture.
Yeah.
So what else we got going on? As you know, we have our recurring lives that we do very periodically. Wakanda Whiskey and Blurredom on Friday, our late night happy hour where me and my boy Mark drink some, I was going to say okay, but nah, actually it's pretty good whiskey. We don't like the cheap stuff.
Uh-oh.
And we talk comics and blurred culture and Black Panther. Real Talk with Rich. It says it all by itself. Usually on Sundays, Rich gives you his thoughts, and he don't hold back. He keeps it 100 with you. Talking about comics, reads of the week, recommends, and going down some rabbit holes. And then every month we've got our Black Comic Ladies Live. These ladies gather around, sip some tea, spill some tea, and talk comics. And they know what they're talking about. We also had our recent specials that you all are available on our YouTube channel. Please, if you're watching this, if you've enjoyed our show, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you can know when we're going to do these videos, and support, and be afraid to hit the super chat at the bottom to help us pay for all this stuff, because we do all this purely out of love and out of our own pockets. So if you can help us to help you and then keep entertaining you, we greatly appreciate it. So until next time, thank you, Tony Kittrell.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate having you. More power to you. We're going to support you. We want you to come back.
Hey, I'm back. Whenever you say,
I need you. Let's plan to have you back right before your anniversary in August.
Okay.
So you can tell us what you're going to do, and we can go over that. But whenever you got an exclusive, whenever you got something that you want to share, this is a space. We're your family now.
I'm going to hold you to that. And I'm going to come
Hold
back.
me to it.
Okay.
It's on video.
Okay. All right. Bet. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. Thank you.
Anytime. Derek, we out.